Happy Thursday. Welcome to our Fiery Embers show on the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network. This show is not going to bring you the latest tips on how to increase your VO2 max or increase your watts to kilogram, but what it will do is make you laugh and think about where some of the best foods in your area are. Today, I'm going to be joined by Razik Raouf of Running Sucks 101. I met Raz about a year or so ago thanks to our connection to Adam Lee of Community Trail Running, and I've loved reading his Substack ever since. We got into an exchange, not a heated one, about television shows filmed in LA and how it would be cool to run those streets from the shows that we've seen. So we're going to talk to him about that and more on today's show. But before I bring Roz on, please check out the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network on your favorite podcast platform. We have 9 shows, which means that we have something for everyone. We have shows about music, shows specifically about food, and then we have Q&A. So go check out the Everyday Athlete Podcast Network wherever you get your favorite podcast, and then be sure to subscribe, rate, and review our network so that we can continue to bring on guests like Roz. And without further ado, let's bring him on. And let me get the correct pronunciation. Is it Raz or is it Roz?
It's Raz. My mom calls me Raz, but whatever. It's
So we met, like I said, about a year or so ago through Adam
Mhm.
Lee, and I have absolutely loved reading everything that you write from a running/cultural perspective. And I think
Yeah.
I lean more into the cultural part than the
Mhm.
running part with your writing, because it makes the world seem like a better place, even though some
Yeah.
of the stuff you write about is hard to stomach sometimes.
It is hard. It is sometimes hard. It's sometimes hard to write. But I'd like to correct you on one thing.
Yeah.
You met Adam through me.
Oh, that's right. It's been such a whirlwind with the three of us. I don't know who's met who, but I know I'm connected to you guys, and I appreciate that.
He's so awesome. I'm always happy to connect people that I like. So it all works out. But yeah, the talking about the culture and writing and reading about difficult things, that kind of stuff it's important for progress, which is something everybody wants. Like whether it's the progress of their personal financials or progress of inclusivity or parity in whatever part of the world that they move in. Everybody wants progress. Like it's human nature, I think. So yeah, and it's hard work to do that, whichever one you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you've written about run clubs. The most recent one was in Santa Ana, which was just
Yeah.
really powerful to read. And there was one about a young woman whose run club in South Central, where
Hmm.
she decided not to participate in the Paris Olympic
Correct.
conversation back then. I mean, just really powerful stuff that moves me. And I say this all the time: if somebody's words or photos generate an emotion in me, from like, hey, I want to be a part of this, I can't thank them enough, because I think that's what the content should be. It shouldn't just be like, hey, here's me running 6 more miles today.
Well, my pleasure. That is my goal. To inspire people. Write about things that allow other people that are reading it to think, oh, they're doing it, I can do it too. So that is a goal, and I'm glad it's working on one person at least.
Hey, well, I comment as often as I can, and I share that stuff as much as I can, because I think it's important. The reason why we're talking today is because we had an exchange on one of your stories about Bosch and Lincoln Lawyer, and we started talking about TV shows and stuff like that in LA. So, out of curiosity, this show's not meant to be one of those VO2 max shows. So, out of curiosity, in a foot race, who's going to win, Harry Bosch, Mickey Holler, or Raz?
I've got to go for me. You have to have that confidence in your own ability, but I reckon Harry Bosch, he works out. You see him in the hand-to-hand combat. He's a veteran. He's a tough guy. Mickey Hauler, I think, definitely third of the three. But I think I'd like to think I could give Harry Bosch a run for his money.
Of all the things that you've probably been asked in your life when it comes to running, I got to imagine that's a first.
It's a first, definitely. But also I thought about it when I was watching. I was like, oh, he's tough. He knows his way around his own body. So cool, good for him.
At the end of this month, we're going to add some new characters with Suits LA. We'll have to bring you back on the show and see which one of those people on that show we can try to beat in a foot race. Do you listen to the radio, or are you more of a streaming music person?
I'm streaming music, definitely. For radio, I miss radio from the UK. I used to listen to Premier League commentary, so I um, used to listen to sports on the radio actually, and I miss that over here because you can't get it in LA in the same way for the sports that I want anyway.
So you probably have not heard the commercial that AT&T runs, which, by the way, I had to Google who the company was when I heard the spot on the radio, because they keep talking about the best tacos being in Boyle Heights. And you and I
Uh-huh.
just recently exchanged a couple of messages about tacos in West Hollywood, and I think you mentioned East Hollywood, right?
Yeah, just East LA. I mean, Boyle Heights. I know the best tacos are in Boyle Heights. They're
They
correct.
are.
Yeah,
So
Morisco's. Yeah, Morisco Jalisco. They make a fried shrimp taco. It's a wonderful thing.
I'm a plant-based eater. So where are we going for the best plant-based tacos?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I love a potato taco, simple as that. So honestly, it's one of the things I judge a taco place on, like how good is their potato taco. There's Angel's over here on Eagle Rock Boulevard. Um, they have a great baked potato as well. It's wonderful stuff, like really good. Lines down the street.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it so? What makes it special? Is it the way the potato is cooked? Is it a salsa that's a little spicy? Like, what makes it so special?
Oh no, you got to go straight to the potato itself. It's got those slightly crispy edges to it, and that the texture there, it makes a difference. I'm a big fan of potatoes. I think they are one of the perfect fuels for endurance running. So I'll I'll, I'll tell anybody to take a pocket full of potatoes on their run over a ultra high processed gel.
So I will tell you this: when I've run long ultras, 100 miles, 200 miles, mashed potatoes with a squeeze of honey. If you
Yeah,
can get that into a Ziploc bag, and so you could just squeeze it out like that, it's phenomenal. It can't be beat.
yeah. I mean, you can do that on the sofa while watching Bosch as well. You can.
I may
Like,
not get up off the couch, or you just go right to sleep right there.
don't limit yourself to 100 milers.
Oh man. All right, I saw this on your Instagram, so I'm gonna ask the question: is it eat pasta, run faster, or eat pasta, run faster?
it's it's a funny thing. It doesn't work in the American accent would be eat pasta, run faster. Eat pasta, run faster. Sorry, and then in my accent, it's eat pasta, run faster. So the only way it works is with an accent from the north of England, where they say where it rhymes. So it's eat pasta, run faster. So it's a very specific thing, which neither Americans nor me can execute correctly. So
Where is this shirt from, and is it still available? Because I mean, it hits home, right?
it's from a run store called Progress Running Club in East London by Spitalfields Market. They're a very fashion forward store, and the owner has got a long history in the fashion business, and this is one of his designs. He's a long time runner, but opened this store early last year, and so that design, I knew I had to have it as soon as I saw it. Last time I went back to London, I was like, could I have one of these in a medium, please? And they obliged me almost immediately.
By the way, I had to write it down and spell it separately, because otherwise I would have just said it the same way both times. I had to add
Yeah,
like an AH at the end so I could stress
it's,
it.
it's a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister, and you have to think about it. And I have clearly. So
Is shit like that the things that make you think, and you're like, it'd be cool to write about this? Like, where do you get your inspiration to write about some of this stuff that because you have a sense of humor that I love. I really appreciate it. You don't take everything so seriously, but I
yeah.
wonder where that inspiration comes from when you get into the writing pieces sometimes.
Well, I'm very civically minded, so I do try and take on the tough topics, but I also try to I write about community a lot because I think community is it's what humans need. People, every single human needs a friend. It's as simple as that. And so I like to write about that, and everybody wants to have a nice time. So I write about that. So I write about things that can make people's lives better. It's the it's called Running Sucks, but that's only the beginning of the sentence. Running sucks, like running sucks when I'm running on my own. So go find a run club to run with. Go find a friend to run with. Running sucks when I'm on the treadmill. So marathon a season of Bosch. It's there's always a solution, and I'm a very solution oriented person. So that's kind of where my thinking comes from. Like, I look for the people who are trying to solve it as well, and I try to write about them. I try to write about who they are, where they've come from, why they're trying to do the thing that they're doing, and try and relate some of my own experiences, some of my views on the world as well. So yeah, those are the things I think about. But yeah, we all like to have fun, so that's kind of at the heart of it. I want everyone to have fun. Everyone just wants to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, the more we smile, the better we feel, right? It kind of releases the burden sometimes when we're laughing and smiling about things instead of being angry, typing at people like, you're not a runner.
Yeah, think about the things that you do every day. You go to work to get paid. What do you do with that money? You spend it on your rent, your mortgage. You spend it on your food, whatever payments you have to make. But then whatever's left over, you spend it on having fun. Whether that's some tacos with your friend, whether that's going to a concert, watching a movie, buying some new equipment to do some gardening with. It's all recreational stuff, and running is one of them. People spend a lot of money on running, and so if I can help them overcome some obstacles where they're not enjoying running so much, where I can make it less of a burden, like running is an exercise for fitness, but if I can make it fun for them as well, great.
You mentioned music concerts, and you used to be, or maybe you still do, write about music. And recently, the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, there was a release about a conversation he had. He runs like 4 to 6 miles,
Yes.
consistently. And so I wonder, like, what other musicians that you've come across in your time who are runners or have told you that they're out there running?
Yeah, so many. I mean, Taylor Swift is probably the most high profile one because she trained for the Eras tour on a treadmill because she wanted to recreate the physical feeling of, exertion for 3 hours while being able to sing. So, talk about her VO2 max for a minute. It's going to be like higher than mine or Harry Bosch's. But then there's someone like Liam Gallagher, another stadium filler. He has a daily running routine. Part of that is, I believe, for to help him stay on the straight and narrow sobriety wise. Some of it is mental health. It's all linked, of course. I don't separate physical and mental health at all. But yeah, those are the kind of two ways that I think musicians, artists engage with running, because it's the rock and roll lifestyle is something that many ultra runners have traded for running dozens, 50s, hundreds of miles, so there's an interesting correlation there, I think.
It absolutely is, and we tell a lot of stories on our platform, and I don't know what the percentage is, but it's got to be very high, of people who have gotten off of alcohol and drugs and adopted the endurance sports culture, and oftentimes leading into the ultra and trail community. I would be one of those people. I have been alcohol free for 12 or 13 years now. And sometimes the conversation is, did you just trade one addiction for another? And maybe the answer is yes, but running feels more healthy and it feels more community building than alcohol, when I would be drunk and blacked out, obviously not talking to anybody. So
yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for the healthier addiction. You're much less likely to die from running a long distance. There's also a slightly greater chance of dying from running a long distance, just for the exertion that you put your body through. But it's about finding your limits, right? you can reach different levels of enlightenment through endurance running. You can find things out about yourself. You know this from all the stories you've told, and it's really interesting because I think that a lot of people who come from a substance abuse addiction background may have been trying to mask those feelings, whereas endurance running, endurance sports, it's really about feeling those feelings super hard. So, running isn't therapy, but it can be one of the things in your toolbox for therapy. And I'm happy that it is. I'm happy that it's being recognized as that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Running is therapeutic. I'm gonna bring it back to a little bit of a lighter moment. So
Yeah.
again, I love to scroll through and just find pictures and be like, what the hell is this all about? So there is a post on Instagram you have, I don't, it's got to be a couple of years old, where
Yeah.
you're like, I don't enjoy running and videoing myself running, but I love taking pictures of signs. And it's the sign you had said pizza pie on it. And it
Yeah.
made me think, like, when I'm from New York. So when I talk about pizza, I say, I'm going to go get a pie. And it makes
Yeah.
me wonder, like, is pizza pie, is pie something that you use, or do you just say, I'm going to go get a large pizza?
I say I'm getting a large pizza, but New York culture is so pervasive. We've all watched The Sopranos, you know, so it's like we've all watched Goodfellas, etc. Like we love talking in the wise guy accent. I'm not going to do it, but when you do, you talk about a pizza pie.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And the other thing is, I would say I'm going to go to the pizza joint. Like I'm going to go to the bagel joint. Like I don't say bagel store or bagel restaurant or pizza restaurant.
Hmm.
What's the word that you use? I'm going to go pick up pizza from the pizza restaurant, or like, does that even come into the vernacular?
Usually, I just say I'm going to go pick up a pizza or I'm going to go pick up some bagels. But I can definitely adopt pizza joint. I think it sounds cool.
Yes, convert. We got one finally.
I'm happy to support you in such minor things as calling it a pizza joint. Happy.
I need all the support I can get some days, man. I appreciate it. What's the topping that's going on your pizza more often than not?
I'm a big fan of a marinara, actually, because I'm plant oriented. I'm not plant based. I'm not vegan, but I'm a huge vegetable fan. Beyond that, broccoli and mushrooms, hell yeah.
Yeah, I've replaced the broccoli with spinach for me, and spinach and
Okay.
mushroom is
Mm.
definitely one of the top orders for me. I'm down with that.
And if you're joining me for pizza, I'll get pineapple on it. Hell yeah.
I would love to watch you eat the pineapple. I'm not doing it, but I'd love to watch you do it.
Just as a power move, so you know whose house you're in.
I'm in. I am in. We're gonna go get tacos in Boyle Heights, potato tacos in Boyle Heights, pineapple on pizza for you. We're just gonna go on a food tour. We need to do that. It would be awesome to do like a 5K running food tour.
One of my favorite things to do. You know those food tours, they definitely exist. I mean, we know they exist in terms of walking tours. Food tours in LA are a bit more difficult just because of how spread out the city is. It's easier to drive, but going back to TV and film, my friend Sean has a run club, the LA Cinephile Run Club, and he organizes 5Ks to 10Ks where they run around filming locations, because those are really internet. If you run through an area, you can get a bunch. So that's a fun thing.
That would be an absolute blast, I think, to just be able to see that kind of stuff. And I find like when you run through cities, you get more connected to them,
Yeah,
and you feel more a part of the fabric of the society in those areas for sure.
absolutely. I mean, that's I moved to LA from London 10 and a half years ago now, quite a long time. But when I moved here, I was overwhelmed by how big this city is. And so I thought, how am I going to engage with it? I run, so I'm going to run. I'm going to go join some run clubs in different areas and get to know the place, and run 5K, 10K races to get to know the neighborhoods. So I know downtown Los Angeles like back of my hand. I ran along Hollywood Boulevard at 6 a.m. For the Rock and Roll 10K or whatever it was. I've done Santa Monica and Venice through their 5 and 10Ks. I've seen so much of the city through that. But then through run clubs like that move around location, I get to be with friends and explore different neighborhoods. The Cinephile Run Club started in Pasadena doing a Halloween tour, because that's where Halloween the movie was filmed. And so we started there. I was like, oh great, I haven't really run through Pasadena before, so this is fun. And I was like, oh yeah, there's Mike Myers' house. Like, it's cool. But yeah, you do get more connected to the city. I know the one way streets of downtown LA now better than most drivers do.
100%.
So yeah, so there are huge benefits to moving around cities on foot.
You're still hosting the Glendale Runners at 7:30 a.m. on Tuesdays?
7 a.m. 7 a.m. We leave at 7 a.m. sharp. Yeah, it's a small neighborhood wellness initiative. We're there. We are reliable. Every Tuesday we're there. And so anyone who wants to join and get 4 miles in the morning before work, more than happy to host them. It's just down the road from my house and my co-captain Ezra's house. So we're going to run together anyway. If anyone wants to join us and get that practice in, we'd love that.
Yeah, I just told Stephanie Schick, who we put her story up last week or the week prior, because she lives in the area, about the run club. And she's like, that's just down the street from me. So, I'll get in my car one day at probably 4:35 a.m. to get over there and come running with you guys.
Oh, it'll take you 20 minutes at that time in the morning.
I'm gonna show my ignorance here on food again, but this time we're gonna head across the pond to the UK, and you have a choice of bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, or a proper British breakfast. Which one are you eating? Which one are you tossing? And which one are you gonna hold on for later?
Okay. Well, the classic cooked breakfast, it is a classic. It's honestly one of the only things that can be called a British classic. But honestly, it's a bit much in the morning. So I'm going to toss it. I like my oatmeal in the morning. So I'm going to toss the English breakfast. The shepherd's pie, I love potatoes. And I love a mashed potato. If I can exchange the sheep part of the shepherd's pie for a vegan substitute, I made a really good one with lentils. I made a really good one with corn mince. That's a good one. I'm going to keep that for later because it reheats really well. The bangers and mash, I'm going to eat that right now. Yeah.
I love it, dude. Like shepherd's pie. I remember the first time my mother served it to me, I was like, what is this? Right? We're Puerto Rican. Like, that doesn't exist on the island. I was like, why are you serving this? Like, what are we supposed to do with this? But my goodness, I was like, wow, this is amazing. More.
You put mashed potatoes on anything, it works. You can even if that mashed potato used to be in a Ziploc bag in your pocket, it works.
I was in Boston last year, and there's a place in the North End that has a potato pizza, and so it's sliced thin, the potato, and then it crisps in that 500-degree oven, so it's like soft on the inside, cooked but crispy edges on the potato. Oh, so good, man.
Yep, I've had one of those with yellow peppers as well, and it's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Well, hey, where can people read your stuff and follow you online? Because honestly, it's one of my favorite emails that I get when it pops up, right? Like, it's like Running Sucks Substack. And I'm like, here we go. Something good to do.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. Running Sucks 101 on Instagram and .com. Running Sucks 101. Because I couldn't get the Running Sucks without the 101. Someone had already taken that. So
make sure you go check out Running Sucks 101. He's got stickers. I've got them all over my laptop and my notebooks too. So check them out and enter into the giveaway. You're still doing the giveaway with John G, correct?
I am. And these are all envelopes full of stickers that I'm sending out to people. The John G giveaway for upgraded subscribers, to give them a little bit back. Give away $100 Junji gift card every week. They've been a super kind. They're super kind people. I love them very much, and I love their gear.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. Try to stay dry in the weather that we're going to have for the next day or so. And I'll see you around, man. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.